Good afternoon. How many of you out there have ever considered a job as a chemical operator? Or maybe you're wanting to learn a little bit more about it. Or maybe you're fresh out of high school not knowing what to do and somebody told you to check this out. Well, today I'm going to discuss the different everyday tasks that are performed under this position. I'm going to discuss the different requirements and skill sets that are needed. And I'm also going to discuss everybody's favorite, which is salary and room for advancement. First off, let's start with some of the tasks that are performed on an everyday basis as a chemical operator. The main task that a chemical operator performs is overseeing different aspects of production. This includes checking levers to make sure they're open all the way, or doing the right pressures, checking pressure gauges, checking temperature gauges, or checking other different control levels that are inside the control room to make sure everything is running under proper terms. Another thing is expect equipment to make sure that it is in proper working order. Take this toaster, for instance. You know, on a toaster, you push the lever down, it stays down until it gets warm and it is toasted to your liking, and then it pops up based on the setting that you set it at. Well, let's say you push the lever down, and whenever you let go, it just pops straight back up. Obviously, there's something wrong because that's not what it's supposed to do. So you're going to use your senses such as touch, hearing, smelling. You're not really going to taste anything in a chemical factory, but you're also going to use your vision, and you're going to use all these different things, all your five senses, to establish if everything's working right and make sure that your machines aren't leaking, make sure they aren't seeping gas, and make sure there's no vibrations, because those are all very important. Also, safety is a key part to a job of a chemical operator. Chemicals are very dangerous, and they should always be handled with care, and every chemical has its own safety procedures and precautions. So as a chemical operator, you have to oversee all that, make sure everybody is performing the right steps, and make sure that everything is being handled right, because if not, then it falls back on you if somebody gets hurt, and it also, we don't want injuries in the company. Finally, with task is quality control. Let's go back to our toaster, for instance. Quality control is very important, and if I'm putting bread in here, I want high quality toast to come out. Just like if I'm putting raw material in, I want great chemical or great product coming out at the end product. So whenever you put your toast in, it's just bread, and if you push the lever down and it comes out and it is burnt, then obviously there is something wrong and it needs to be fixed, and that is part of your job. You will take samples from different checkpoints throughout the facility and make sure that everything is up to quality and up to standards of the company. Unlike um, other places wherever quality might not be as important, chemicals, it is very important, because if you don't catch it in time, then you can get certain reactants that you don't want in there and end up in a chaos by something blowing up, because chemicals can be very unstable depending on what you're working with. Next, let's talk about some of the skill requirements for the job as a chemical operator. As with every job, teamwork is very key. You need to be able to work with different parts of the plant, because a chemical process can have 5 steps, it can have 10 steps, and it can have 15 steps. And if the person further along the chain doesn't know something happened back at the beginning that is wrong, then that puts him in a bad situation, and you need to be able to communicate with each other to make sure that everybody is on the same page when it comes to the quality of the product and the procedures being followed. You need to be able to analyze and document your maintenance work, because whenever your machinery doesn't work right, you have to file for maintenance, and you have to be able to make sure that maintenance can read it, that it's legible. This is your duty. Make sure it's legible, make sure it's clear what's wrong, make sure that it's concise enough to what they can get what you're talking about. And lastly, along the lines of documentation, you need to be able to put it in the right spot so that for easy access further down the line to see if it was a problem before that had maybe been fixed the wrong way. And these are all parts of skills that you need to have. The last skill requirement that is needed is to complete an operator program, such as the Wacker Institute here in Chattanooga is the most common. A German company came in and provided nice facilities and invested so much money into the school to make a great program. This is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, for those of you watching outside of the state. And there are many other programs like that at different community colleges, and there might even be some bachelor degree programs if you dig deep enough to get your hands on in the area closest to you. I highly advise the Wacker Institute, though, because German company, and it is very great. Last, we're going to talk a little bit about salary and advancement. You come into this factory as a chemical operator, and you perform all these tasks on a daily basis. And you know the procedure inside and out because it's what you work with every day. You know how the product needs to be at certain stages. You need to know proper working order of the machinery. And what better position to hold is than an executive administrator position? What a better person to hold that position than the person that does this stuff every day? At an executive management position, you come up with new policies and procedures, and you change the ones and revise them in order to improve your production, improve your profit, and improve safety. Because these are the three key points of chemical manufacturing. Also, with a little bit more education, you can gain the position of chemical research and development. Here I brought a chart with me today that I got on doing a couple Google searches for some averages around Tennessee in this area. Here is the average salary for Tennessee. The average family brings home $20,000 a year. With the chemical operator position, you're going to be bringing home $55,000 a year. And if that's not enough, whenever you advance to the position I was talking about with the research and development engineering for chemical, after they pay for a little bit more education for you, you could be bringing home $82,000 a year. I don't know about you, but that is a great amount of money, and it is 4 times the amount of the average person making in Tennessee. In conclusion, the chemical field is ever advancing, and they need new people to step up and be leaders and to take control and to be able to perform these tasks that I have mentioned above and have these skill sets which I have mentioned and the education as well. This is a great job to get you in the ground level floor of a great company, and it's ever advancing technology, and there's plenty of room for advancement for you coming out of this position. So if you were on the fence about it, I hope I said something today that can encourage you to take the plunge and to go that next step and apply for a degree program or to even apply for the position with a company. Thank you for your time today.